The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. I'm Rob Cosgrove, CEO of Remote Backup Systems. Today's webinar will last about 30 minutes, and the topic is the new advanced interface that's available with all RBS RBackup client software. Let's see. I'll be able to answer some questions during the webinar today. So on your user console, if you'd like to ask a question, or if you'd like for me to address a certain topic, just type it in where it says question. I won't type back to you. Instead, I'll probably talk to you. Also, I'm going to make myself available this afternoon after the webinar is over for the rest of the day until 5 p.m. Central Time. So if there's something that I don't get covered, please pick up the phone and give me a call. Here's our number. It's 901-388-5988. It's 901-388-5988. Those of you who are familiar with RBackup will recognize the interface that you see on your screen. This is the interface that RBackup has had for quite some time. It contains every feature that the client is capable of doing. It's really robust, and it's a little complicated, sometimes scary for some users. So we had a lot of requests to produce an interface to the RBackup software that's easier for users to use, and it's a little bit more modern looking. So we've done that, and I'm going to show it to you now. This is it. Every client installation of RBackup comes with both of these interfaces. So you, as the service provider, can select which of these two interfaces you'd like to be able to show your clients. You can also allow your clients to switch between the two interfaces. Like I just switched from the advanced interface to the simple interface. You can also switch backwards like this. Using the lock features, the feature locks, you'll be able to turn that on and off. And first of all, let me show you around the simple interface. And then I'm going to show you how to control it for your users. Some of you may not want your users to see the simple interface at all, or some of you might not want to see the advanced interface, and some might not want to allow your users to switch. So this is the simple interface. It's got a few buttons. The most used buttons are up front. The simple interface can control backup sets. So it's wizard driven. So if you'd like to create a new backup set, you can click here and type in your new backup set name. We're going to edit an existing backup set to show you all these features, because the features are the same for edit and for new. In this installation that I'm showing you today, we have a default backup set, just one, and it's called default. So you can change the backup set name here, or you can delete this backup set entirely here, or you can back up now, click this button, or you can also run a copy to disk by clicking this button. The simple interface has the ability, has this checkbox right here, which is the ability to add a button to the desktop. I'll show you how this works. Now let me minimize this, and I'll show you the button that was just created, this one. This button was just created, so if you want a really simple interface, you can do this. And what will happen when the user clicks it is it does a backup now for the backup set that you selected. That's it. That did a backup. Let's go back to the backup sets and have a look around here some more. Okay. In the simple interface, your users have two ways that they can select files. They can select files from the left side of the screen and the right side of the screen. When they select files from the left side of the screen, it automatically selects on the right side, like this. So if you want to select all of the desktop files, you can just have your users click desktop and it'll back up everything on the desktop. You can also select My Documents, My Music. It's very simple. And you'll see that as they select these standard items on the left side, these are the common names for file groups. The actual files associated with them and the folders become selected on the right side. In addition, you can go through here and on the right and modify this. You can deselect some files and folders over here, and you can also exclude files and folders over here. Again, if there are any questions or comments or anything that you want me to address or repeat, just type it into the questions section of your user console for the webinar. You can also have the simple interface select by file types. So if I select this checkbox and then click Edit File Types, it brings up a list of files that are installed on this specific computer. Now these are registered file types, so all of these applications that you see here, PaintShop Pro, Microsoft Office Access, Visual Studio, all of these are actually installed on this computer. So this list will vary from computer to computer. Another list, called the User-Defined File Type list, is for you to define as the service provider. And these do not vary from computer to computer. Rather, when you install a file type here, let's do one. Okay, hold on. Here we go. This becomes a part of the distribution. You can have this become a part of the distribution for your software. So if you check mark this and then distribute this, if there are any DBF files on users' computers, or if any are added after the software is installed, they'll be backed up. Okay, that's how that works. Let's see. So what are we going? Let me put this back to the condition that it was. Well, I'll cancel this. I've got some things to. Let's do a backup now. What I've done right now is I've selected some files in this folder. Let me make sure those files are selected. Edit the backup set, the default backup set. And I'm selecting this demo folder. However, this is not the one that I want. So let's go and select desktop and demo. That's it. Okay, these are the two that I'd like to have. So I'm going to clear everything here, and then I'm going to select these manually. There we go. All right, so we've just got two files to back up. Okay, here goes the backup. And that's that. That backed up these two files. Let me take a couple of questions. Let's see, Scott. Yes, the simple interface. Scott wants to know if the simple interface can be customized to the extent that the original advanced interface can. And yes, it can. The simple interface responds to all of the customization features that are available in the advanced interface. So it's just as simple as editing the advanced interface, and the simple interface becomes edited as well. Okay, let's delete these. Okay, these files are deleted, but that was an accident. Now I want them back, so let's go get them. Okay, then we click the Restore button, and I'm going to click down through here to find my files, or I could just type their file names right in this block. Select the ones I want and start the restore. This question asks if I want to redirect the restore to another location. No, I don't. I want them to come back to the same location they were before. And you get a progress. It was very fast, so I don't know if you got a chance to see it, but there's progress for each file down here at the bottom of this restore interface, and the 2 files were restored. Let's see, Brad wants to know if customization includes the icons for the desktop shortcuts. Yes, it does. Customization includes all of the icons. It includes the one in the caption, and that's the upper left part of all the screens. It also includes the icon in the lower right part of the screen, usually, or on the system tray. It also includes the icons on the, I don't know what this is called, also the icons that show up in the Windows Explorer, and the icon that shows up in the Add Remove programs. That's a standard feature of all the RBackup products. Even the evaluation version has all these advanced OEM customization features. There are there's a lot of functionality in the restore interface. I won't have a chance to get to it all today because this is a short webinar. We've only got 30 minutes to finish all this. But I will be able to answer questions after the webinar if you'd like to give me a call. This is the same restore interface that's available in the advanced interface. Okay. This button is to perform a test connection. All it does is contact the server, and it does it does one backup and one restore, and then it does another. Okay. Normally a test connection goes fast, so I don't know what's wrong with that. The server's online. Well, fine. I'm going to reboot the simple interface software. Oh, that didn't exactly do it, did it? Okay, now I'll restart it. At least this will show you that once you switch to the simple interface, there's the ability to stay on the simple interface. So once it's switched, you can stop it and start it, and it does restart. I'm going to try this test connection again. There we go. Okay, that worked. This computer that we're looking at is the one that I used to write the installers for all of this, so it's possible that I had some software running on here that interfered with it. That's embarrassing, but that kind of stuff happens. Okay, Donald says the first test connection probably went fast, so fast that we missed it. He thought he saw it. Here's the settings that are available. Now, previous versions of the simple interface didn't have these settings available. We have now added, and I don't think this has been released yet, but it will be within the next 2 weeks. We've released the ability to change all of these functions, and they are hidden behind this little padlock. So if you double-click the padlock and then add the type in the password that you assigned as the admin password for this client, you can access and change all of these functions while you're out at the client's site. So if you have to go to the site to do the installation, and a lot of our service providers do, about 40% of our service providers install the software themselves on site. They find that it's a much higher level of customer service, and the customers appreciate having somebody there to do it. Also, you can charge more. Okay, let me show you. That's basically the simple interface. It's very simple. We think that it addresses a wide segment of users. If you are producing a service that's designed for college students or for limited backup sets, or to run on workstations but not servers, this is probably the interface that you'll want to use. It's unfortunate, but the more control and the more number of features you give to your clients, the more confused they can get, and the more tech support they can ask for, and also sometimes lowers customer satisfaction. If they've got a whole lot of stuff in there, they'll try to fiddle with it and break something. Let me switch back to, let me show you how to turn all this stuff on. Let's get the RBS Manager software online. This is the RBS Manager software, and this runs on the server. The part of the Manager software that handles the customized client installer is, well, this feature here that says Customize Client Installer. This is the utility that's used to change the graphics, to change the text, to change the look and feel and the feature set, and in fact some of the way that the features operate in the client software. This is done before you build your client installer. So you'll use this utility to change all of these things. I'll go through some of these briefly with you right now. And then when you get it the way you want it, you click Create Installer, and this utility creates 2 or 3 different kinds of client installers for you. One of them is an exe installer, which is just a single exe file that the clients can install. The other is a CD installer, which you can copy to CDs, and it'll auto start when you plug the CD in. And another is the online installer, if you've purchased the online installer plugin. Let's see, Sam wants to know if there's any chance that hard quotas will be added as a feature. For example, if he allocates 20 gigs to a client and they reach their backups, the backups will stop and they'll get a message. As it is now, we don't have a hard quotas. And Sam, let me just answer your question. Yes, that feature will be added. It's been asked for. We now think it's a good idea. We didn't used to, but it's become popular with some of the other services. So I think we're going to go ahead and add that. The way the software works now is it has soft quotas. So when a user reaches his quota, it sends an email or a message and also prints a report. And it's up to the service provider to decide what to do at that point. If he wants to upgrade to a different plan, or automatically add more space, or whatever. There are several things that you can do. Up until now, though, one of them has not been just stop accepting backups. But that's what we're going to do. And but let me get back to the topic here. This is the Customized Client Installer section, and this is where you can determine the backup type. Now these are just the defaults. When you set all this up, some of these features, for example, the backup type, some of these the client is able to change after you've distributed your software, and some of them the client can't change. You can also determine with the client locks which of these features you want the client to change. For example, let me create an installer with a simple interface that won't run on servers and has very few features. So I'm going to lock out the SharePoint plugin. I'll lock the simple interface mode on. I'll lock out the Exchange server plugin so it won't back up Exchange. I'll lock the SQL server so it won't back that up. Let's not back up Active Directory or system state either. Let's lock the encryption method so the user can't see or change that. Let's not allow him to do a copy to disk function. Let's also, lock the auto select feature so he can't access that. And let's not allow him to change the schedule. Oh, what the heck. Let him change the schedule. But let's not allow him to add a new backup set. Okay? And we click Apply. And answer yes. Over here on the Advanced Settings, let's start it up with the simple interface and apply that. Right? Okay. Let's change a couple of more things about this. Let's make sure that we've got the server's URL in there correctly. Now, if you're using the server locator service, you can click this, and this will use the server locator service. For now, I'm just going to use the local host because I'm running the server on the same computer. I'm happy with that backup set. Let's change the text. Let's change this to let's change this company name to Scott's Backup Service. We could add some custom menus, and you've got a custom menu choice right here. You've got a custom menu caption right here. One of these things might be, oh, I don't know, tech support. You can add a tech support function. This would be tech support website. And this one might be something like remote assistance. And what this will do is it'll add a tech support on the client's menu. It'll add a new tech support menu, and it'll have these two options under it. I've shown you the client blocks. This is the display. This is the client's display. This is where you change the graphics. You can change all of the icons. You can change the icons that reside inside the exe files too. And you can change the splash screen and the about screen. And these are all backup settings, all these things that you can change. We can exclude certain files. Let's exclude hidden, system, temporary, and read-only files. Yes? Okay. All right. All right, that's a nice, simple installer for a simple backup service that I could probably charge $19 a month for, or even less maybe. We're not backing up too many things. Let's create the installer. Okay. Let's call it really simple backup. You can digitally sign it if you've got a digital signing certificate. You order one of those from VeriSign. Let's put the let's put this over in. Let's see, where are we going to put this? Let's put it right here. Okay. Now you just click Make EXE. Well, let's use the default EXE icon. Now you just click Make EXE. Okay, that's that. It built it. Let's go have a look at it. Okay, there it is. Really simple backup.exe. Now, RBackup puts the word -setup at the end of its exe installers because that's what Vista wants to see, and we're Vista compliant. So it wants to see the word setup, and somehow or other that helps Vista figure out that it's an OK file to run. And that file you can just distribute. Now, when the customer installs that file, double-clicks it. I'm not going to do it because I've already got one installed here. But when the customer double-clicks that, it goes through the installation process and installs the software with all of those default features that we installed previously. And it's that simple. I'll bring back up the RBS simple interface. Double-click the the icon. Okay. Oh, it's already open. There it is. Are there any questions about the simple interface or anything that you'd like to ask us about features or proposed new features, or do you want a recap of anything? Because I am finished showing you the simple interface. Brad wants to know, how do you know if you're locking on or locking off? That's a good question, and you're locking off always. The locking turns off access to those functions. Otherwise, they're turned on. And I know it was a little confusing before when I said, I'm going to show you where I said this. I know where I lost you. And let me show you where it was. My guess, anyway. Right here, where I said lock simple interface on and lock exchange off. I said lock simple interface on simply because it's already on over here. It was on when I said start mode. So what I'm doing is I'm locking the access to change the simple interface. That's all I'm doing. And also Scott wants to know if there's a way to force client updates. Yes, there is a way to force client updates, and that's already in the software. The RBS update program, which we probably should do a webinar on, and we could probably spend an hour on the RBS update program. That is a script-driven utility that's delivered with the software. We use it to update your server software. We don't do it as a forced update, though. We just display something on screen. Hey, I think I can do it for you. Let me try this. Let me turn off the client software, the server software, completely, and then turn it back on and see if it activates that. I'm not sure if it will. I think it will. Okay, it didn't. But whenever you turn on your RBS server, it automatically checks with our update server here, and if there's an update for you, it'll display a message on screen. Probably you've all seen that. That same software is available for you to use with your clients. So if you would like to have your clients be notified when there's an update and direct them to a web page or to an exe download, you can certainly do that. Further, you can force the client software to do a silent update, which means it'll simply, when you tell it to, it'll simply perform an update, and the user doesn't have to have any hands-on with that at all. Sam wants to know if the simple interface is ready to go or is it coming soon. Sam, it's in the software right now. The version that you're seeing right now is a slightly more advanced version than what you have available right now, but your software, if you have version 10 or greater, or maybe it's 10.1 or greater, it's got the simple interface built into it. Scott wants to know if he can use remote manage. I'm going to show you what remote manage is. Scott wants to know if you can use remote manage to send clients a signal for them to phone home for new settings. No, it's kind of like that, but you're not actually sending a signal to the client. Here, let me show you. Let's see, accounts. Let me show you the account system. Remote manage, user demo. Here's the remote management options. If I wanted to change some things about this client called demo, I could bring up this remote management system and change the purge and retention settings, the backup schedule. I could run some reports. I could change client locks. When I do all this and then click configure, it actually just writes a file out to the server. So next time the client software calls in to do a backup, it checks to see if it's got any updates available, and if it does, it'll download and perform those updates. In this case, that means changing the backup schedule or running more reports. So the client never, the server isn't sending a signal because we don't want the client to be able to receive anything. The client won't respond to an unauthenticated signal from any place for security purposes. Sam wants to know if this webinar will be available for later reviewing. Yes, it will. I'm recording this, and hopefully it worked, and then it'll be posted on that same page that has the webinar schedule. Let's see. Any more questions? We're out of time, and I'm going to be available for the rest of the day. Again, if you'd like to call in and talk to me, I'll be glad to answer more questions, or I can talk to you about other things if you want. My name is Rob Cosgrove. Phone number here is 901-388-5988. That's 901-388-5988. Well, that's it for today. I think the seminar probably recorded, and it'll be available later. So if you'd like to log in and review it, that's fine. It'll be posted in about 10 minutes. Thanks, everybody, for showing up today. I appreciate it. Check the schedule and see if there's anything else you'd like to see. We have several more webinars scheduled throughout April. And if you have some ideas for other things that you'd like to discuss on a webinar, email me, rob@remote-backup.com. It's rob@remote-backup.com. You can also email me if you don't want to call, and I'll be happy to answer your questions. Again, thanks very much. Bye-bye.